Hello and welcome to Impact Yobe. On this program, we'll tell you what Governor Maimala Boni is doing to develop the state, from infrastructure to agriculture, from education to transport and energy. My name is Femi Akonde. Welcome on board.
Excellency, I want to appreciate the effort of
the Yobe State Committee on Prevention and Control of COVID-19 has revealed that the molecular lab has started working with about 40 persons tested and 43 waiting to be tested. The Committee on Prevention, which is under the chairmanship of the Deputy Governor, noted that lots of achievements have been recorded in the fight against the dreaded virus.
Achievements have been recorded in this fight, amongst which is the commencement of testing for COVID-19 at the Yobe State Special Hospital here in Damaturu. The molecular testing laboratory has so far tested 40 samples in the past 1 week, while 43 are awaiting to be tested. Out of the 40 samples tested, 1 tested positive out of those 40. The total number of tests conducted so far is 362, with 225 were negative, 67 turned out to be positive, and the 8 deaths, 59 recovered and discharged. The 2 active cases are symptomatic and is in stable condition. Furthermore, the committee successfully supported the State Ministry of Education to safely reopen schools for students in SS3, JSS3 and Primary 6 who are preparing for their final exams. The committee also embarked on motorized campaigns and other community-based interventions, conducted the COVID-19 Heroes campaign, and continued intensified case search, surveillance, and contact tracing.
See, that is why they say we should learn to live with the virus. That means it's a learning process, it's a behavioral thing. So as it is, what the committee has done and will continue doing is to continue to engage with the members of the public, continue sensitization, continue dialoguing, and so on and so forth, in order for people to make it a routine for them to be adhering to these protocols with regards to COVID-19 prevention and control. We've been to places where the burden is even much higher than here in Yobe State. And in all honesty, it's almost the same thing. And that is why one of the challenges that was highlighted by the Presidential Task Force is the issue of people not really complying with the measures. But then it is a thing of concern, and it is something that we are very much aware and working hard to forestall. So we'll also recommend that members of the press to also assist the committee.
The executive chairman of SUBEB and the commissioner for humanitarian affairs, alongside other stakeholders, recently visited schools in Buniyadi, Bunigari, Bindegari and Temuwa communities to inspect the adherence to COVID-19 protocols as enshrined by the NCDC. The executive chairman, Professor Alabe, says no students would be allowed to attend classes without face masks.
And one of the conditions for opening the school is to observe the protocols. And part of the protocols, number 1, is the washing of the hands. Then we have the applying the sanitizers and specifically using the face masks. I'm not wearing the face mask right now as I'm talking to you because I am giving the interview, and I want to be very clear because the face mask seems to be interrupting my speech. And so the face mask is there, and social distancing. So these are some of the protocols that will have to be in place for them to be able to continue teaching. any people who has not got any face mask will not be allowed into the class. So this must be observed because face masks have been proven to contain community transmission of this virus.
I think the isolation centers we've seen are just transitional centers. The general hospital is not far from this place, and so the isolation center is meant for to temporarily keep whoever that is infected before being transmitted to the hospital. I think there's need to improve the environment because they are just returning. The environment is not too clean, so we'll work on that.
Breastfeed the child if she's working.
In commemoration of the World Breastfeeding Week, the Yobe State government has rewarded mothers who stick to the 6-month exclusive breastfeeding. Speaking at the event, Secretary to the state government, Baba Malam Wali, noted that the present statistics would be overridden if a proper survey is carried out across the state. He urged Yobe breastfeeding mothers to continue to practice exclusive breastfeeding.
It has not been carried out all over the state, and therefore we have to use the statistics available. So we don't have to, bring another statistics and just cook it up in order to just get some information. But what is important now is I am definitely sure if you get the survey this time around, you will see this, there is going to be substantial improvement because of the effort made by the Primary Health Care Management Board. As you are aware, we have 178 health facilities across the 70 local governments. In each of these 178 wards, we carry out maternal and child education in all the 178 health facilities across the 17 local governments. So when this information is being, currently His Excellency has also, out of 178 wards, we have already rehabilitated and equipped about 88 out of these 178 between last year and this year. So you'll find that you'll see there has been substantial improvement in the health facilities and the health education. And we have already, the state government is doing a lot in that respect. So this is the issue. So I am definitely sure if you carry out the survey now, I'm sure the information and the data you have will be completely different from what we have even stated in the report we have just read. Thank you very much.
To enlighten mothers and even fathers on the importance of exclusive breastfeeding in the first 6 months of life, being that the breast milk contains enough, nutritional content, fluid and everything for 6 months, and thereafter to be doing supplementary feeding with locally available resources for the sake of sustainability. We don't have to be buying infant formulas and the rest that are not sustainable for various families. So our focus has been on educating families on sustainable means of ensuring that children get adequate nutrition from locally available sources. So this is going on not only by our staff in the nutrition unit, but also even in health promotion unit. And we have this located in all the 17 local governments of the state.
It's an initiative that provides natural food to the babies from the mother's breast. And we all know that breast milk is a whole food, natural, and it's free. We can't even say it is cheap, but it is free. So more than 120 countries in the world are joining us currently celebrating this breastfeeding week to support mothers, to give them all the necessary things that will give them the motivation and strength and support to exclusively breastfeed their children, and also practice complementary feeding using available food stock. We know that Yobe State is good in farming, and we have most of the highly nutritious food, but due to lack of knowledge on how to process or how to cook or how to even preserve these foods, we end up wrongly or poorly feeding our children when it is time to add something.
To breastfeed the child if she's
As part of measures to ensure adequate compliance to the laid-down protocols for reopening of schools, the Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Sani Idris, has visited schools in Potiskum to caution any abnormalities against the COVID-19 guidelines. In an interview with Impact Yobe Crew, the Basic and Secondary Education Commissioner says he is overwhelmed with the strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols by the teachers and students. He noted that Governor Mai Mala Buni's administration has a common passion for education, stressing that before next week, more logistics would be deployed to all schools to flatten the curve of the virus.
On common passion and love for education, and he has set all machineries on ground. I am now going around to see the level of preparedness, and I am overwhelmed by the zeal I saw in the teachers to help our student pass WAEC examination. The return of the student to the school is also very, very encouraging. The isolation center, to a large extent, is very, very acceptable medically. And I'm happy that, inshallah ta'ala, with all the prayers we are enjoying from Yobians and the support we are enjoying, with the additional glucose the students are returning to the school with, I am positive that, inshallah, this year we are going to have a very beautiful result at the end of the WAEC and NECO examination.
And our special thanks also goes to the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Honorable Mai Mala Buni, for working at every corner to see that education is moved forward. In spite of the short notice we received from the Federal Minister of Education and the Presidential Task Force on the opening of schools, Yobe State is able to, within the shortest possible time, make all possible arrangements to see that our schools are opened. And you will bear us witness that the schools are opened and all the necessary facilities required to contain the spread of COVID-19 are there present in our schools. So we are very grateful to the governor. Our thanks also goes to the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Education, Basic and Secondary Education.
The Yobe State government, through the Ministry of Information, has signed a contract agreement with two separate companies for the purchase of new broadcast equipment for the state-owned television and radio stations. The contract was signed on behalf of the state government by Abdullahi Bego. The Commissioner for Information says the upgrading of the radio and state television is a fulfillment of the campaign promises made by Governor Mai Mala Buni.
His Excellency Governor Mai Mala Buni has given his total commitment to ensuring that YBC and YTV operate at optimal level, and that the people of the state will have the benefit of knowing what is happening not just in the state but across the country and the world through our own radio and TV stations. Right now, this is not what is happening. What is happening is that our people get to know what is happening in the state and around the world through other sources of information. The Yobe State government, under His Excellency Governor Mai Mala Buni, has an obligation to ensure that the people of the state can receive the signals and services of these broadcasting stations and can know what is happening with the government, with the people of the state through our own indigenous broadcasting services. This is why he's committed to ensuring total, very total digitalization of this TV and radio station. What we've signed today is just the very first step. And the first one is the purchase of antenna system, installation and repair of 1032 feeder cable at YTV transmission station along Potiskum Road at the contract sum of 28,140,000 naira. As you may be aware, right now people even in Damaturu do not receive YTV, and the very reason is because of that, of the fault that was discovered at the transmitter along Potiskum Road. With this work now, people will be able to receive YTV as was. And when I say as was, I mean as we used to receive YTV. which means we still have a very long way to go to ensure that after people can just watch YTV on their TV screens, that the TV station is digitalized, and that we can go to the next level of ensuring that we are on satellite channels and YTV can broadcast 24 hours and all that. So that's the next step after this one.
The Yobe State government, in conjunction with Coalition Against COVID-19, recently distributed food relief items to persons living with disability. Governor Mai Mala Buni, who was represented by his deputy, says the donation would further cushion the effects of the trying moment faced by the physically challenged persons during the lockdown.
We have taken delivery of about 80% out of a total number of 56,452 cartons of noodles, 28,227 bags of 5 kilograms of sugar, 28,227 bags of 10 kilograms of rice, 28,227 bags of 5 kilograms of maize semovita, 28,227 cartons of pasta, and 28,227 bags of 1 kilogram of salt. I wish to take this opportunity to express our appreciation to the Coalition Against COVID-19 for its swift response and complementary drive with the intent of collaborating with government at all levels to cushion the effect of coronavirus pandemic across the country.
Our focus on this special interview segment will be on the finances of Yobe State and how it is prudently managed. Our guest is the Honorable Commissioner for Finance and Economic Development, Alhaji Musa Mustafa. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Pemi. Yeah, welcome to Yobe.
Let's set the ball rolling with what is most recent, the COVID-19 pandemic ravaging all parts of the world, including Nigeria and indeed Yobe State. Despite this pandemic that has affected the country's health and wealth, Yobe State has still been able to manage to continue in that process of administration. Things did not grind to a halt. So how have you been able to manage economic development amid the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, as you can see now, I believe you went around the town yourself, Mr. Pemi, and you can see everything is going on as usual, as it is even before. And this is basically has been possible, due to the steadfastness of His Excellency, the Executive Governor, Honorable Mai Mala Buni. That is why, and because of his prudent management of public resources, you can see nothing has stopped. Nothing. In fact, we are even making improvements even amid this COVID-19 pandemic, because even during this COVID we have been able to mobilize youth for training, women and youth. Especially we had a program we organized for automobiles, these car repairers. We took them to Kaduna on one automobile program. So they went there and acquired some skill there. We also have undertaken a fainting program for the youth. All during this COVID-19, we've trained a lot of youth on how to make this paint you are seeing. And we were trained, and we were also been able to give them all the kits they needed to start producing this paints for themselves. And those ones who went for mechanics, we also give them kits, for them to start their own workshops and other things. So And there are quite a number of palliatives that His Excellency has introduced, even not to the youth, even to the less privileged people, even to the most vulnerable people. There are, a lot of palliatives that he introduced and were given to the general public of Yobe State through SEMA, through Ministry of Agri, through all other sectors, in the state.
And payment of salaries, has it been, despite
has been, no, we have nothing, it's okay. We are being, nothing has happened with our salary. We are being paying our salaries as usual. On 24, 25, nothing changes. We are being able to pay all our salaries, pensions, even gratuities, all these three, we pay them steadily every month. We used to pay them. And there are other standing payments, not even salaries. There are other payments, standing payments we do. That ones too, they are still going. Even things we do in ministries and other things, there are still nothing stopped, honestly. And that is perhaps, as I told you, is due to the state finance of His Excellency, the Executive Governor. Is very, very prudent in the management of public finances. So we have been able to cope, and we are okay. Yobe State is definitely stable financially. We are definitely stable. We are all right.
Okay. Then let's talk about the whole managing of Yobe State finances. What reforms are you introducing into the ministry that would enhance the capacity of everyone involved in managing the state's finances?
Yeah, there are a lot of programs we are engaged in, to improve the quality of services and to improve our food density. This ministry is very, very prudent. Everyone knows it, but we are still looking at ways on how we improve this quality we already have. We are, we are having a program in conjunction with the World Bank and SIPMIS. That is we are already having they have organized training for us, for our staff. So even recently now we have organized a training for our accountants under the SIPMIS program. So I think there are a lot of programs we are doing now in conjunction with the World Bank, the SIPMIS and SLOGO. There are a lot of programs, there are a lot of improvement we want to bring through those areas.
And the staff, how well equipped are they? Have you been training and retraining them, especially in the areas of accounting?
Yeah, that is what we are saying. That training aspect of it is almost constant. It's like we are almost on training. It's like almost, because now this thing we are doing with the section, when we are thoroughly done, we are going to have one single account, that is the treasury singles account. So these staff need to be trained. All these ministries and MDS will come on board, one board now. All these transactions, all payments, all other things and contracts awarding will be central. So this staff definitely need to be trained. And a lot of them, now we have selected few MDS ministries that we are going to kickstart with them.
Okay, so let's talk about taxpayers now. How have you been able to make concessions to them, especially those who maybe have businesses and all of that, to encourage their businesses to thrive, and also just general concessions that will create an enabling environment for business operation?
Yeah. Because of this COVID-19 pandemic, we have introduced a lot of concessions to help those our business owners here, where they can pay their taxes at least without much impact on them. We made concession. We made some reduction on the on the taxes they paid. We also make it very convenient for them to pay these taxes, whereby we are now introducing this USSD. I think they can pay on their mobiles. They can pay with their this thing, POS.
In managing the state and in terms of bringing resources together, the state is also dependent on internally generated revenue. How robust has it been? How have you been able to also shore up internally generated revenue in the state?
The IGR sector also is witnessing a massive improvement there too. Collection now is automated, whereby a trader or a business person can pay comfortably and conveniently anywhere he is. Anywhere you can pay through the POS, it can be paid through your phone, it can be paid. A lot of the things have been introduced in the terms of the IGR. And if you are talking of the IGR, still if you are talking of year in, year out collection or improvement, Yobe State has been termed as the best state in the country now in terms of improvement in the collection or in the amount received yearly on IGR. Yobe State is, I think, one of the best states now. Yes, because our revenue generation has increased because of this, innovation we introduced, we put in places. So our revenue generation now is honestly is improving quite well.
That's our conversation with the Honorable Commissioner for Finance and Economic Development in Yobe State, Alhaji Musa Mustafa, telling us about the management of public finances in the states. And that's the program this week. Until next week when we come your way again with fresh news and updates from the pride of the Sahel. The program has been Impact Yobe, and my name is Femi Akonde. See you next time.